Hello everybody, welcome back to Daily Easy English Expression. Yesterday we talked about to riff. Guys riff with other guys, women, girls, ladies riff with other girls. I can riff with women, I can riff with my mom, I can riff with my dad. And it just means casual talking, no planning, just talking about something. Talking about politics, talking about religion, talking about cars, talking about women, whatever the subject, riffing is just discussing. But remember, guys have guy talk and they talk about guy things. Girls have girl talk and they talk about girl things. And sometimes when people have conversations with guys or with girls, casual riffing, sometimes people say things they would not say in public. When I talk with my friends, my guy friends, I say things I would never, ever say to my mother. I would not want my mother to hear what I say. That's honestly, I don't say anything bad. I don't say anything too bad. But anyway, even politics, you can assume that I have my own politics. I like certain people. About religion, I have my own ideas about religion. But I do my best to not share my ideas with you, with the public. Why? Because of decorum. I have a modicum of decorum. Hopefully, I have a lot of decorum. Decorum, some people say decorum, but decorum means etiquette. It means politeness. Modicum means a little bit. Okay? So, if you have a modicum of decorum, that means you're at least a little polite. A great example would be bad language, right? And when I was in Korea, Korean people, they study English, but they don't always understand the nuance of some words. And it was very frequent on a Korean television show where I would hear they would have like a drama, a military drama, and they might have a couple of foreigners, white guys or black guys, being the former foreign army, the U.S. Army, whatever, and an old drama. And the guys, the military guys, they would say words like and son of a on TV, S-H-I-T and B-I-T-C-H. Okay, now, when I grew up in America, we could never use those words on TV. Those words were bad words, so we wouldn't say them. But in Korea, they didn't know that. They didn't realize that these are that bad. So the television decorum in America prohibits people from saying those words. But the television decorum in Korea doesn't. They don't have the same nuance. Does this make any sense? So television decorum, etiquette. Funeral decorum. If you go to a funeral, can you take selfies of yourself? Hey, man. No, that is not proper etiquette. That's not funeral decorum. But the truth is, Barack Obama, when he went to Nelson Mandela's funeral, he was taking a selfie with some other people. And that was not proper decorum. He didn't have any decorum. We want a modicum of decorum. You have to be a little polite, and you can see if you go to the internet, Obama, selfie, funeral, you can see his wife is not happy because she knows her husband had zero decorum at such an important place. But it happens. It happens. And it happened recently in America. There's a guy who wants to be president, and the words he used were horrible. Zero decorum, zero etiquette. Although it was guy talk, guys do say things that are not public, but the information became public and it caused a problem. Check out the dialogue.
How could he say those things?
Well, he said them behind closed doors.
Yeah, but he's a pig.
He's a guy.
Well, we'd like a modicum of decorum, huh?
Yeah. Once again, guys do say things behind closed doors, privately. Guys say things privately that they would never say publicly. Guys would talk about women, and to the woman, they would never think about saying it because they have a modicum of decorum. When they're with the guys, they talk garbage. But in public, that's when they realize, oh, I need a modicum of decorum. I need a little bit of etiquette, a little bit of politeness at least, so I shouldn't say it. Everybody knows that. Yeah. Controversy. Yeah. But it's true. We want our leaders to be good people with policy, but we want them to be good inside too. But the fact is, there are very few people who are really that clean, especially people in power, especially people with money. It's just very few. People say things, they riff in private with the guys or with the girls, and those things they talk about, they never want to be public. They never think about being public. But it can happen. It can cause lots of problems. So, personally, my philosophy is when you're 17 years old or 21 years old, yep, it's going to happen. Words like that probably are going to come out. But there needs to be an age, there needs to be a time when you have to grow up and be an adult and probably not use that language. And don't worry, I'm not a goody boy. I've got friends who are my age and older who use the worst language in the world with the guys. It happens. But you know what? I don't. I can hang with those guys and I can listen with them and I can make jokes, but the choice of words is important. Oh yes, I use bad words. Of course I do. I use the F word when I'm angry. Yes, I do. I'm being honest. But it's with me, it's in private. But still, there are bad words and there are really disgusting words. And personally, I try not to use them, and I hope you do too. And we would hope that our leaders do too. But hey, reality says that's probably not the case. So should it influence our decision? Well, maybe. But then we have to look at the other person too. Maybe not. Yeah. A modicum of decorum. At least a little bit of politeness, a little bit of etiquette. We need to have a modicum of decorum. We need to be at least a little polite in public. And hopefully in our personal lives too. All right, a lot of stuff. Good expression. Look up decorum. You'll see lots of usages. Funeral decorum. Whatever. Lots of different business decorum. Etiquette. Etiquette is the key understanding there. Modicum means a little bit. Okay? Check out the website, www.letsmasterenglish.com/free. Get 11 free lessons. I want you guys to join me in my classes. Start preparing. 2017 is coming up quick, and I will have a great discount for you in October, a very nice discount in November, and a very good discount in December. The earlier you join, the better the discount. And so starting in October, starting right now, probably within a couple days. Thank you very much, guys. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
How could he say those things?
Well, he said them behind closed doors.
Yeah, but he's a pig.
He's a guy.
Well, we'd like a modicum of decorum, huh? How could he say those things?
Well, he said them behind closed doors.
Yeah, but he's a pig.
He's a guy.
Well, we'd like a modicum of decorum, huh? How could he say those things?
Well, he said them behind closed doors.
Yeah, but he's a pig.
He's a guy.
Well, we'd like a modicum of decorum, huh?